Hello, friends, and welcome to a Wednesday afternoon here on Kobold Press. We are coming to you from the past. Technically, you are in the future. This is going to be a little pre-recorded interview, which I'm very excited to have. Something we've not done yet here on Kobold Chats is chat with other DMs who are running stuff other places. Like, who would have thought? So that is what we're gonna do today. First, we'll kick off with a few announcements. You know that I have to make my announcements so I can spoil at least one thing for all of you every week. 2021 goals. So this week I come to you spoiling that, guess what, the Southlands show is out. You should check it out. It's pretty cool. I dressed as a hedgehog. My wig will be in this week. It should be awesome. So just make sure you don't miss those shenanigans, and you can do that by checking out our YouTube, where we're archiving all of that for your eyeballs and your ears. In addition to that, I think we've got some new content out on Roll20. We were running a sale. You should double check. I think that might have ended on the 17th. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But something that you can get your paws on right now, over on Roll20, as well as, I believe, printed edition, is Empire of the Ghouls, which we're here to talk about. Sage, I am so excited to welcome you to Kobold Press. Hi.
Hello. Oh man, it's super cool to be here and be able to chat about this. Oh yeah, super cool, super spoopy module.
Yes, super spoopy. It is super spoopy. I would say it's probably the module right now because I'm trying to take in all of this Kobold Press lore as I've come on board, and I've just not hit this module yet, but everybody keeps talking about it, so I'm excited to dive in and find out why, what makes it so spoopy. But first, tell us who you are and why you're here.
Yes, so I'm Sage Stafford. I am a player and content creator on the Venture Maidens, a podcast, Twitch channel, brand, where we live stream our games every Wednesday and Friday on Twitch, and then we package that up as a nice little podcast to give to our audience. And so, yes, I'm currently running an Empire of the Ghouls module right now with a super stellar cast.
Yes. So I guess we'll hop into the module piece, but tell us a little bit more, because you are in season 2.
Yes.
Coming up on the second season. So maybe what did we miss from season 1? Give us a little GM recap of all of the shenanigans.
Oh boy.
oh boy, yeah.
So many shenanigans. So a very neat thing that I'm doing, because I am not fully fluent in all of the Midgar lore and everything. And so when I started reading Empire of the Ghouls, I wanted to set it in my homebrew world. So I've actually taken the main storyline and I've adapted it to my homebrew world. And so starting off with season 1, because I wanted to do a different start than just you all are here, you meet in a tavern, you're thrown together in the situation. So starting off this season, I did a one-on-one game with each of my players in order to get them introduced, to be able to get sort of a little bit of a deep dive into their character personality, their backstory, why they're here, and then wove all of those threads together so that by the 5th episode, they all came together and met in some dark circumstances.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Empire. Ooh.
So it starts off a bit like a little bit of a murder mystery where they're coming together and they have all these different pieces of the puzzles that they're fitting together to figure out what the heck is going on in this city. And so yes, and from there they had met the early antagonist of Boris Cruel, who is a Dar Cool. And so yeah, extracting information from him to try and get an idea of the bigger picture of what might be these machinations of this ghoul imperium that is suddenly peering up in the surface world. And so yeah, we left off at the end of season 1 with them about to confront sort of one of the heads of this cult of ecstasies that has taken root in the city.
Oh. Okay. Man. So season 2 is kicking off with a full on
big heckin' fight.
Big heckin' fight.
Yeah, so we had so we just recorded this past Friday, our second episode of the season. So yeah, the season opened with a big fight, which was lethal for one character.
Oh no!
But it all
spoilers right here on Kobold Press.
I won't say how it resolved, but things happened.
Man, what a way to kick off a season. Like, you definitely don't see that coming, because you come into a season, you're like, well, if we made it this far, we know we're at least going to get a few episodes in before we lose somebody.
Nope, right off the bat.
Just right out of the wowzers. All right, very cool. So you've talked, okay, so this is very insightful. So you've told us a little bit about what your season 1 looked like, but in terms of using Empire as a Ghoul as a module, and in this case in your homebrew world, which I think is really interesting, what have you been pulling from it? What have you enjoyed? Tell us all your dirty GM secrets.
So what I've really loved is I love the way that this module is laid out, because it makes it so easy to like lift out pieces and adapt them to like whatever game that you're in. So if you just want to take like the first section and make that a plot point, you can do that, and then you can move on from there, or you can come back and return to it. And so that's something that I've really appreciated about reading through this module, is how easily adaptable it is. And in the book, it tells you right off the bat, like, if you want to change it, like, here's some ways that you can change this for your world or in your setting. And that's something that I've personally have really enjoyed. And so, but as far as the plot, cool. I love the deep machinations and political intrigue. And so that's the thing where I'm just like lifting out of the book. I'm like, yes, give me all of that.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to build a hack slasher game, right? Like, because that's just like piece by piece, combat after combat. But political intrigue is really hard, especially if it's not your own person. Like, because I know as a GM, if I'm writing political intrigue, my own political intrigue and drama is like what I know, but it's always hard sometimes to read it off the page. So it's really cool to see it in action,
Definitely, and I love all of the different factions that are at play here. So I have like notes and notes where I'm like, this is their like modus operandi and what their goals and who they're opposed by, and all these different little sheets that I have, so I can drop hints and clues to my players.
Do you have like a totally favorite bad guy?
Oh, I mean,
or bad woman, or bad person, or bad ghoul. Could be a bad ghoul.
Boris was my favorite, but he is sadly dead now. But I think coming up, the I believe in the module, it's written as a prince who's like in control of the Blood Empire. But I decided to make I really love the idea of making all the vampires like very matriarchal. So I can't wait for my vampire queen to be revealed to my players.
Nice, that's gonna be awesome. Wait, can you spoil her name, or is it like top secret? Gotta tune in and find out.
I know her name is Queen Magdalena Sangre du Vondrak.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow. And she has bad plans.
Oh yes, very bad plans. Getting, she's got a marriage planned, and that.
Oh, that never
always
ends
an affair.
Well. Yeah, we learned that with Zootsmoy. That never ends well. Wow. Oh,
so we'll see how that shakes out.
I was going to say, how does that shake out in all of this? I guess, well, you said political intrigue. There's nothing like a marriage to turn it up to 11.
Definitely. That'll be the sort of one of the high points of season 3 is playing Wedding Crasher.
Those always end well. Those always, no, that was, they actually don't. That was sarcasm, everybody at home. It's total sarcasm. So you were saying how you kind of built this into your own homebrew, which I think is interesting, and clearly your characters like stories, because you started out with these kind of 4-part mini-sodes or however you did it. So can you talk a little bit? I'm always interested to hear GMs talk about that process, right? Like, how do you take something like Empire of the Ghouls and then work it in to your character's story and their storyline, which may give up some secrets about, I don't know, characters or spoilerific things. So chat, maybe I'll put a spoiler content tag on this.
Probably. So how the module starts is your characters are brought together to be hired as adventurers in order to protect this kobold who has been receiving death threats because they've been framed for kidnap and murder. And so in the module, there's sort of this like anti-kobold sentiment that sort of goes throughout this first chapter, and you as the party are trying to figure out like, okay, who actually did this, who is behind it, why are they trying to frame this kobold, and all in this this sort of unraveling mystery. But for me and my players, whenever we play D&D, like we use the lines and veil system as one of our safety tools, and lines that I always have in my games are that there is no racism or fantasy racism or homophobia, queerphobia, ableism. And so when it came to this like sort of kobold racism, I was like, I don't want to include that in my game. That's a line in my game. And so how do I take that essence of what they're trying to get at, but make it in a way that, that we don't have to confront that in our game? And so for each of the characters, I asked them to give me a contact who they would have in the city who has recently gone missing and now they're on the hunt for. And so they each gave me their backstory and a contact, and I took all of those ties and I found a way like, oh, these two are connected here. Oh, they'll find this one in this section who will give them this clue. And yeah, so
like happenstatial, it's that perfect happenstatial circumstance, right? Serendipitous, that our line, all of our stories have crossed. That's very, very cool. Well, so do you have like a favorite moment or moments from season 1? Like those moments that really like capture the essence of this game for you?
I think my favorite moment from season 1 so far has been after they had made their way out of the Cult of Ecstasies. They captured Boris in order to extract information from him, and they had also recovered people who had been killed who they wanted to be put to rest. 2 of the characters actually play people who are they give funeral rites. One of them is like very much a modern sort of funeral director who performs services and rites for families and stuff like that. And another one she is a paladin dedicated to the halfling god of death, Orogalon. And so there was this like really nice split scene where the 2 people who are delivering funeral rites for these people, like standing outside at a patio, who are performing a sky burial to lay these people to rest. But on the inside was the Dampier monk and this Shatterkai witch who are interrogating the big bad Boris for information. It was like these separate scenes going on. There was very, very poignant and very cool.
That's awesome. Like a little, very poetic, kind of juxtaposed a moment. Oh, interesting. Well, what can we expect from season 2?
So season 2, they are on a quest. They have heard that a faction of the priesthood of Orogalon has been captured for dubious means and nefarious plans, and they are on a quest to rescue them and to potentially recover a holy artifact that will help them in their overall story to be able to take down or squash the plans of this ghoul imperium.
Nice. And you got a queen, and there's so many things there. I'm intrigued now. I'm like, okay, now I want to know who these characters are, who is their contact. Where did the weaves weave their little tale? Well, that's actually, no, please go ahead.
And what is super cool is on the 22nd, January 22nd and 29th, we're having Meghan Markle on, who is the editor on for Empire of the Ghouls, and so she'll be helping them in this castle heist scenario.
Oh, very cool. For all of you, Megan, we've chatted with Megan a few times here on the chats. She helped with edit some Southlands, or specifically City of Cats, and regular face, y'all. Get over there.
It'll be a good time.
That's very excited. Yeah, we'll make sure. I believe we're hosting it here as well, so
yes,
2 places to get your eyeballs on it. No excuses. That's what I heard. So about these characters, I want to know more about this team. You said there's like a witch and a barbarian. Did I hear that right? And so like a monk.
A monk.
That's what it was, a monk. So tell us more about the characters in this game, without obviously giving away their spoilers and all the things I actually want to know about.
So we have a Matthew Woodyard. He plays Valka Ilford, who is the Shatterkai witch, who is like a noir, like 1940s detective with a Boston accent, and so really creepy, really funny.
All right, I'm
So
sold.
we got the noir detective, and then we have Luvan Cromwrack, who is the self-described Daddy Dampier, who is like this middle-aged, like, half vampire man who's incredibly charming. He's got this gray hair and the beard and wears three-piece suits everywhere as he's striding in to, punch people in the face in battle.
Wow,
Very
okay.
debonair.
There's a lot of mood in this group. There's a lot of, like, it's a certain vibe I'm feeling.
It's definitely a mood. And then we have an Orc Shade Bard, who she is one of the subclasses from the Underworld Player's Guide,
nice.
College of Spirits. And so she's like the very modern funeral director who performs services for people. And so she's gotten in trouble for cutting corners on her funeral services and found herself dead.
Oh,
and has risen again as a shade, and so she is
interesting.
Yeah, so she's got lots of instruments. Every string on her guitar is named.
It's amazing. Okay, cool. So okay, Shade Bard technically now. Mm-hmm. Shade Bard technically. Okay.
Yes, and then we have Six Killer, who is a Kenku paladin dedicated to the halfling god of death, Arogalon, who is all about making sure that the dead stay dead, that they are laid to rest properly, and is just a little too eager to settle things with violence.
Yep. Okay.
Every party's got to have one.
Yep. Yes. It's true. It's super true. Or sometimes nothing gets done. Yeah. Sometimes
really?
somebody has to pull the trigger. Nice. All right. Cool. So as folks out there who can get their hands on Ghouls, I'm sure Future Dot will put a link in chat. There it is. Look at that beautiful hardcover.
Oh yes.
Look at that. So get your hands on it. But for GMs that want to run it, what are maybe some, I don't know, hints or suggestions that you have as they move into it? Because it does look like a beefy module. Let's be real. This is not like some Sunday cakewalk, like 8-hour thing you do with your friends. Like it's a module.
It is a campaign. It goes from level 1 to 13. And so
wow.
It is definitely, yeah. And so I would say that, be as ambitious as you want to be to either lift stuff in, take stuff out, or change and adapt things. Especially for your group, I would because a lot of, it is a horror module. The Ghoul Imperium are full of really terrible people. Yep. And I would, going into this, I think it is absolutely necessary that you have to sit down and have a conversation with your party about where their lines of comfort are, because there are just bad people doing bad things.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first off, I hope everybody does that anyways, but for something like this, it becomes even more important because of just the content alone. That's good. That's good suggestions. And you think there are, like, I'm sure there are tons of pieces you can also pull out of it. Like you were saying, you kind of merged it with your homebrew world, but like I imagine you could like rip a dungeon or some puzzles or like a section out to just do it and like place it where you need it if you were running a totally separate Ghoul campaign, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's a lot of, if you also look at the Underworld Layers, is an amazing resource because they're such cool, like, encounters that are built in that are just beautifully written and incredibly flavorful that just really help you flesh out a setting.
For sure. I actually pulled one from that for our holiday episode, I believe. I think that's the book that I pulled it from, which was really great. It was like a garden. They were having a holiday party. All of the beasts were having a holiday party. So it was a lot of fun. That was, that's a really good resource as well. Very cool. Well, I'd say we could take questions, but you know what's funny? We can't do that. So, other thoughts as we kind of, we can close out early or whatever, but I want to know what you're excited about, because I can sit here and ask questions, but like I think running it over 2 seasons, we don't see a lot of that sometimes on a lot of TTRPG shows. Like the continuation of something, we close out in 8 or 12 episodes, and so this continuation, because there's a podcast as well. I don't know if y'all go to audio, but like I'm interested in like how do you keep something running? How do you keep the story so immersive and engrossed for your players over such an extended period of time?
I think part of that is definitely like building the right group together and having that sort of conversation about, obviously starting off with that conversation of like, what are you looking for out of this game? What do you want for your character? You know, what are their goals and their sort of their motivations? And I think that is one way that when you're not doing all of like main plot stuff all the time, that you can weave in those character motivations that help keep those ties in. Something a friend of mine said that really has just struck home for me, was definitely one of those like aha light bulb moments, is that for every plot hook that you set up for your characters, you should have 2 things that are connected to their personal motivations or interests, and 1 thing that's, you know, off to the side. And so I feel like that is a really great rule of thumb for helping keep your party interested and engrossed and immersed in the story.
That's very interesting. And good insight. What a wise, somebody rolled well on their wisdom deck. That is good, wise insight there. Yeah, for sure. Interesting. Very cool. All right, show us that beautiful hardcover again.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, let's see it. Look at it. Look at it. And all of its
look
glory.
At him. Emperor Nico. Well, where's some cool art in here? Oh.
Yeah, oh, you know, one of the things that I've really loved, it's so funny, when I interviewed to come and start doing this for Kobold, I was very excited, and I got into a call with Wolfgang. I'm about to be totally transparent here, y'all. Got into a call with Wolfgang, and I remember telling them that art was something that was really important, not only to me personally, but I thought to really selling something to an audience and like the story and the characters, and I wanted great art for not only our actual plays, but like how much I appreciated the Kobold art. And there was this extended pause. I don't think they were I don't know if it was because I was weird about it, but he was totally not ready to hear it. And there was like there's this extended pause from Wolfgang and Amanda on the other end of the line, and then they were both like, cool. Okay. Yeah. All right. I guess, you know, like I got really all passionate about it, but like I would agree, like Kobold's art is one of my absolute favorite things. And so I started to like, look at this. Oh,
like how do you not want to run around in that? Like, look at that.
Yeah, so cool. It's the art is just always so rich and beautiful, and really sells me like wholeheartedly on their worlds or like their settings and their layers. And so
absolutely,
even their beasts, some of their artwork for their beast is also really, really choice. So I guess
inspiring and terrifying.
Which I think is the perfect explanation of Empire of Ghouls.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Well, tell us again where we can find you as well as the show, where people can check it out.
Absolutely. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Staff of Sage. And so I run Empire of the Ghouls, as we call it, the Rising Hunger, on the Venture Maidens Twitch channel from 6 to 8 p.m. PST on weekly Fridays. We will be doing our 3rd episode of our 10-episode season this coming Friday on the 22nd with Megan Markle guesting. And yes, I take all of the audio and I edit it down and release it as a podcast for the
nice.
Venture Maidens Patreon feed. But if you do want to catch up on all of the episodes, we do save them on the Venture Maidens YouTube channel in a nice little playlist, so you can all go back and watch it and relive that goodness.
I was about to say, what I heard is binge it. Nice little YouTube places for binging. Very nice, very nice. Well, anywhere else we can find you, Sage, other than this awesome show?
And then I'm also a player on the Venture Maidens podcast, so you can hear me playing a dwarven barbarian cleric combination named Kara Brynhilda.
Yes.
And that is on Wednesdays, and then I'm also playing in a Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign, where I play an elk-based Furbolg centaur who is a druid of the Circle of Stars.
Yes! So magical. In so many ways, so many layers to that. Yeah. Fantastic. Awesome. Well, I guess I'm going to guess that this Dot is going to pass it over to future Dot. So I guess we'll see you all in the future. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. And definitely go check out the Venture Maidens. Firsthand, there's some awesome folk over there. For sure. Dot approved. So Joe, check it out. And we'll be here as well on Fridays, hosting, so that you can't miss it. So we'll, I guess we'll see you in the Empire of the Ghouls. The Rising Hunger. Yes, we'll see you in the Rising Hunger. And, well, I'm guessing Future Dot will handle this, but if she doesn't, we'll see you back here next week. Same Kobold time, same Kobold channel for another Kobold Chats where we chat all things Kobold. Thanks for being here, everybody. And I'm going to pass it off. There we go. Thanks, everybody, for hanging in there. I was just saying that I went from Future Dot to Present Dot in front of your eyes. I did that. It's like magic, which is what you get Wednesdays here on Kobold Press. Yeah, whoa! Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the chat. Sage was unable to join me live, but we had a great conversation. They made me laugh a lot, which I always appreciate people that can make me laugh, because I believe laughter is an easy way to spread joy, y'all. So I really appreciated them and the great conversation we had. Yeah, it was a great talk. So first off, Empire of Ghouls is now available on Roll20. So for those of you interested or running things at home, you can get your hands on it over on Roll20. And I'll tell you, I have had the great pleasure of getting access to all of Kobold Press's items on Roll20. And it's awesome to just have the compendium there that you can drag and drop, especially when we were building for like the Southlands campaign. Choice. It was just choice. So, well worth it if you're feeling living in the digital age. I hope everybody is well today. We're going to close out the kind of latter half of this hour talking about two things. And then we're going to close out with a special video from our very dear Jenny. Because it's wonderful and I love sharing it. So we'll close out with that today. But yeah, Empire of Ghoul, you can get your hands on it. I actually thought we would pop open Roll20 and take a look. But I need to see if I can actually make that happen. I can make that happen. I was going to load up just the Empire of the Ghoul piece and show you some of the stuff. But yeah, it was a great talk. Oh, y'all, check it out. I said this in chat, but I wanted to prove it to you. Look at this beautiful big book. It's my brand new hard copy of the Midgard World book. And y'all, look at it. Great Scott! It is wonderful. And you got a chance to see Sage's copy of the hard copy of Empire of the Ghouls, which is just phenomenal. I'm excited to get to, like, really dive into the book. I mean, it is, like, no small feat, obviously. But I want to start with the stuff in, what little bits in here about the Southlands. Because obviously not everything's out yet for the new release from Kickstarter, but we've started the show. Speaking of shows, we got a new show coming. New show coming in February. I can officially announce Rudy Basso will be joining us as GM. He's one of the faces over at the Don't Split the Podcast Network. I just got finished playing in a Torg campaign with Rudy. He was the GM, and he has brought what I would qualify as a unique and quirky idea. And if you don't know anything about Dot, it is that I love a good quirky idea. No, 1d12. Yeah, that's true. I think if I swung hard enough, it could do 1d12 worth of damage. But I'm really excited to have Rudy join us and to bring his little idea over. And we're still casting for the show, so I can't share anybody else quite yet with you. But starting in February, we're looking at a weekday evening show, probably, where, we're going to mix it up in the free city of Zobek. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you anything else because I don't want to spoil it, at least not yet. So good things coming. If you didn't get a chance to check out the Southlands, like I said earlier, it is available over on YouTube. You get your hands on it. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. We learned a lot about what hedgehog weddings don't actually look like. Oh, for those of you not there, it got a little weird. So make sure to get your hands on it. I'm gonna drop one more time the link over to Kobold Press, the store, so that you can check out all the many things that we, have going on. Oh, I had a yawn. So, I was loading up Empire of the Ghouls, wasn't I? All right, let me. I think to do it with just the one, I'm going to have to search for the module. Okay, I want. Maybe I don't have it. I got to. Well, if I don't, maybe we'll do that next week. I'll actually just crack the whole thing open. Anyways, but you know what I can do? I can get a PDF of it. That I can do. I think I actually already have the PDF of it. So, I thought we'd take questions if we had any, because I know, like, Sage was unable to join us. Like, they were unable to join us for the rest of this conversation. So, yeah. Oh, nice, Grant. So, yeah. I was very, I knew after Hashirati, I really wanted to play something that could still be, like, in Southlands, but, like, was a really quirky character. I'll tell you, actually, he's partially based. We haven't got to see him really lean into his abilities yet. But he's kind of quirky, like, I'm not going to remember that character's name. This is really specific and a total throwback, and it's going to date me. But do y'all remember the Rescuers Down Under? That was the movie. The Rescuers Down Under. It came to me. I hope you remember that movie. That movie was great. And in that movie, there were the two mice that had come and, like, flown in, and then they had the guy. Do you guys remember the, like, little field mouse? He was so like he was so Australian, and, like, had his cool hat, and he was kind of debonair. Bianca and Bernard, thank you. Drop the die. Bianca and Bernard, and they had their little tour guide. So, anyways, he is a partial inspiration for my hedgehog, my arena character. Just like super suave desert monk. Always got, like, one leg up on something, like, leaning just so, and looking out on the horizon. He's just a little far traveling arena monk. That's it in a nutshell. Let's see. Yes, so the world book is kind of like the Midgard omnibus of some older content. Jake, that was it. Yes, thank you. Drop the die. Jake. Yes, it was a kangaroo rat. Yes. I'm at least one person in chat knows what I'm talking about. Yes, he was the one. So yes, the world book is kind of like the Midgard omnibus of some older content. Yeah, so what's happening is everything's updated. So they're updating a lot of stuff. We're getting a lot of new stuff. They're filling in. So Midgard is like... So first off, if y'all didn't know, we got a big old map. Okay, Midgard ain't no small place. Boom. So what's really cool about... I'm finding, as a GM, about Kobold Press's content... I'm turning in, because by spring, I think I'd like to run a campaign over here on the channel, but I'm not sure what I want to run quite yet, so I'm, like, still figuring it out. But as I've been diving through, there's a lot of great just modules. Like, I think if you are a GM that constantly looks for inspiration, or you like to do the piecing things together, Kobold Press just has, like, this library of stuff to use. It's like a giant toolbox. And then you have, like, which includes really the Tome of Beasts, because they can be used kind of across anything, like, and how you need them, and kind of plug and play. But their Midgard stuff is like the other end, which is like their lore specific. And so I think the Midgard world book obviously is about the entire world, and that map right there is huge. Yes, there is a revised and compiled version because there is a lot of like old content. So everything's being updated. This is kind of why we're getting Southlands now, which is great. And we're getting all of this kind of new 5e content, which is very exciting. And the Southlands covers like a really big piece of land. Like it is no small like chunk. I'm just really excited. I heard backdoor chatter, another spoiler with Dot, that there are gonna possibly, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, be some pre-sales for Southlands if you missed the Kickstarter. So if you really just want to like make sure you've got a copy coming, there may be a way for you to do that. If not, you're gonna have to be like the rest of us and wait it out. But same content nonetheless. Yeah, you've read through a lot of the older books that came out a few years back. Good thing there's revised and compiled. Oh yeah. If you've not bought any Kobold Press stuff and you have about $12, what should you get? Okay, there's a module. It's if you like modules. It was told to me. I've actually not run it myself, but it is on my list, and I don't want to spoil it because it is spoilerific. But it is supposed to be, at least it was pitched to me, as kind of like the epitome of like the humor and writing of Kobold Press. What was it called? It was one of their earlier publishings. The thing is like I know what happens in the module, but I can't remember the name of the module. You put me on the spot. It's the one I would suggest getting. So, your players are trying to break into. That's it. Okay, wait. I think is what it's called. I think that's what it's called. Yes, okay, so this is a module for first and second level characters, which I always appreciate, like, early modules, because sometimes it's really hard to make early level characters, like, really invested and to get them very interested, or interesting, because in the story. I think it's called, like, the impenetrable or the impregnable fortress of something, and it's all about them trying to find and break into this fortress. Don't know what I'm talking about. Any of my kobolds out there know what I'm talking about? I wish Gnome was in chat today. No one would know what I was talking about because, yeah, I think it's called the Impregnable Fortress of Dib. And I love it. It's true. Yeah, damn that Dib. Okay, okay, good. Granville's got me. Damn that Dib. It is. I laughed. I actually laughed out loud when I got to the crux of the end of the module. Man, that would be the suggestion. Let me see if I can find it. And then I'm gonna post it for all of you because I think it's kind of like a one shot, and I actually think the majority of it is public. You may not. You know what? Save your $12. I think that's it. It's in prepared. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, GM Moonwolf. Thank you. I knew I wasn't crazy. I just couldn't wrap my head around where it was. So I have plans one day to run this, but I don't want to spoil it for too many folk because it's choice. It's truly choice. I'm glad to know, Paladin Hawk, that you're enjoying getting to know the settings via the actual plays. That's kind of was one of my goals is as we run more actual plays on the channel, I really want the GMs to feel inspired by an area of something or by, in this case, a module. Like I said, it was really great to get to talk to Sage and see how they were using the content to almost like make their homebrew world richer. And I think that's really interesting, and as a GM is something that I think we oftentimes look for. It's true, drop the die, yeah. Yeah, a general familiarity with content is a great way to sell people the product, and it's true. And so, getting to see it in action is just really awesome, and getting to see some of the Southlands content that just came out of that Kickstarter is pretty great. Oh, that's good to know, Granville. So Empire of the Ghoul is really good at giving the PCs a run around Midgard. Sage was saying something similar, actually, when we were off cam, about like how rich the locations are and kind of getting this surface introductory piece, which means that it could be a great way to bring them into Midgard if that was a setting, you as a GM are interested in ever running. Yeah, so much travel. They said that as well. They said that as well. So yeah. There you go. There's something new for you today. For you to take to your tables. From Kobold Press to you. I was trying to think of other things. I would say I don't know off the top of my head what the price of everything on Roll20 is. But another great steal, and I just invested in it for my own purposes, are the 2 Tome of Beasts in Roll20. Like, just to have those readily available has been so nice. I've been able to drag and drop so much stuff like into gameplay. And then, there's always the option, like if you're looking for something for your players, not necessarily for yourself as a GM, getting the player's handbook for them, I think would be a nice addition. They also have, we just dropped new hard copies, I believe, in the store of the Margrave Player's Guide, y'all, which has been, I actually have plans to pick that up myself. This one's been on, people have been begging for hard copies of it, and I believe it's back. I believe that it is back. Let me double check that. And I know we posted about that over on social as well, so definitely don't miss checking that out there. Yeah. Yeah, we did. So there you go. Hard copies. Man, we've got this. There's so much in this store. Like, here I am sitting here scrolling with all of you, and I'm like, oh, I want to look into that. See? This is what happens. I got sidetracked. So there we are, everybody. Here for Empire of Ghouls. Like I said, there are hard copies, and like it's also no small. Look at that book. It ain't no small little bit. And neither is this Midgard World book, which makes me very excited. I'm gonna definitely see more of that. I think I don't know what. Okay, chat. What should my next hard copy be? Oh, thanks, Crit Witch, for the resub. We appreciate that, making our bar fill up and our hearts swell. Hey, and now we're still working on emotes, but y'all, we do have one emote. We have a Kobold emote. So you can just go share that little Kobold all over the place. Yeah, look at the little kobolds in chat. I love it. Yeah, spam some kobolds. We've got some more coming. I'm always down to hear ideas in chat. If, there's an emote you think that Kobold Press could really, like, nail, but, you're not getting on somebody else's channel, let me know. Right? Kobold Love. I've got some good plans, but at least now you can put a little kobold in people's chats, until we get the official ones finished. Hey, that's how you feel most days. Yeah, you support Kobold on their Patreon, and they're constantly sending more and more content for you to read. Hey, let me tell you, thanks Nick Plays for that sub. Welcome. Yeah, every time I scroll, I'm like, oh man, I really should read this. Or like, oh, I want to see what that is. And the Patreon gets so much extra content. If you haven't checked out our Patreon and you're a GM that likes to really consume tabletop content, they'll send you more than I think you can put your eyeballs on. Let's just use this channel to get more emotes. More. Give me more. Please, sir. Can I have some more? Yeah, so here we are. More Kobold. More. So we'll have, like I said, more emotes coming. I'm hoping by February we'll kind of have those solidified and in place. So more? You say? Yes, more, please. So yeah, which is pretty cool. And then hopefully next up we've got some announcements I cannot make. I know what's next, but I can't say nothing. We have some big guests coming to our chats, which is very exciting. So I look forward to seeing what that how that plays out. And who comes over to chat. We'll have more on that soon. 5th edition campaign setting. Any advice to get it right by SRD for free release? For free release. I don't know about the free release piece. Would you like to maybe clarify or give me some more info, and I'll be more than happy to answer that question. So you're thinking, like, are you wanting them all in one? Like, all of the system documents in one? Or did you buy it, or have you bought it in the past and we're updating? Is that what you're asking? Because there's going to be a whole lot more updates coming. Y'all are not going to miss it. There's also like new stuff coming, which is always really cool. Like, new is always very cool. So, yeah. How do y'all feel about pirates? I'm really thinking I need to run a pirate game. I think I said that before. How y'all feeling about pirates? I mean, I guess, not necessarily how do you feel about pirates and your political stance on them, but how do you feel? Arr. Well, Gia Moonwolf, I appreciate the. I think I want to run a pirate game. The new pirate movie? Is it rated R? Oh, you're thinking about releasing your campaign setting. Yes, it's rated R. Yeah, my suggestion, Gift of Gabby, would be I am definitely not that person because I don't do as much writing as I do running and hosting. But if you would like advice on publishing, I would check out our Kobold Press fan Discord, which is a pretty cool place to be, and there are a lot of great helping hands there, including some of our own writers and publishers for Kobold Press. And then definitely check us out at conventions. We host a lot of panels about producing and writing and publishing for your own content. The last one that you looked into was Skull and Shackles for Pathfinder. Oh. Yeah, I think I would like that. To run a pirate campaign for all of you. I think we could get a little, a little shanty. A little booty. A little open seas. Hey, that's very helpful. Thanks, GM Moonwolf. There is a YouTube channel video from GaryCon 2020 about freelancing. And I imagine that we probably do that panel every couple cons. So, yeah, check it out. Your pirate show is Skull and Shackles. Oh, I see. Holt, the pirate paladin, who tries to be friends with all the evil pirates. I mean, pirates need friends too, y'all. If you walk away with nothing else from today, just know pirates need friends too. Avast ye knave! I just feel like something in me really wants to run a pirate game, and I think this would be fun. There's also my other favorite setting, which is Swamp, and there is a lot of great, like, swampland in Midgard. There is also 7th Sea. Everybody's talked to me about 7th Sea. I've looked into it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty great. But I want to run something Kobold, you know what I mean? I want to run something in Midgard. It's going to happen. I also have another pirate campaign that I'm planning for, like, something totally different. But, like, I want to run... I'm thinking that I might like to run a pirate one. Plus, there's also a lot of cool stuff, like... Wolfgang talked a little bit about it in the Southlands Roundtable. I believe that was the one. But there are pirates of the Southlands that sail the sands. They have like sand boats. Gifted Gabby, you like desert settings. You know, desert and swamp are my two favorite like land settings. I would totally agree. Swamp and desert's very cool. Yeah, happy to pirate more for you, Dot. Redistribute all the wealth. Yes. Yeah, desert. Yeah, there's something about like I feel like desert and swamp are extreme settings, right? Like the survival it takes to exist in those two ecosystems is a lot more than say, or it's just different. Let me say that it's different because surviving in the city ain't no park, walk in the park either. Yeah, let me see if I can't get a Discord link for you. I think I can totally do that. We will definitely get you in Discord. I can't remember. You know what? Do I have a hotkey set up? I bet not. I get you a link. I'll get everybody a link, actually. I should do that. I'll set up a hotkey for our fan-driven Discord. A lot of great chatter. Just about, well, really everything Kobold. And a lot of people... Wait, here we go. I found it. Sorry, I'm part of a lot. Okay, here we go. So this link expires in 1 day, everybody. So get it while it's hot, and I will set up a command for next time that's a little bit more perma. There's a link. It's on the Midgard Adventures website. It's true because we also run our fan plays through that as well, which we're hoping to have more of this year. You know, GaryCon is actually right around the corner, so keep your ears open because there'll probably be some announcements coming real soon about our participation in GaryCon. Hopefully. That is the last I heard. So check it out. Go pop in the Discord. It is such a great Discord. It really is. And there's a lot of the, like I said, there's a lot of the Kobold family and writers and editors that all hang out over there. So you never know. Maybe one day Wolfgang will get a Discord. Get a Discord? Sorry. Maybe one day Wolfgang will get a Discord account and he'll pop over. I only laugh because we got Wolfgang using Slack and it's great. And so now we're like, come over to Discord, Wolfgang. It's like peer pressure. That's a good possibility. Yeah, I don't know where things are gonna be. You know, when I'm not sharing all my time with Kobold, I work for a live comedy house, an improv house, and we've always obviously been shut down over the course of the last year. And so we're starting those conversations of like what it looks like to come back, and they're our big national theater associations are talking that this fall is a possibility if all goes well with the distribution of the vaccine. So yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Today is a bright day for us here in America. It's a bright day for democracy. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That it. And I'm excited to be sharing it with all of you. But we are drawing down to the close of this chat today, which has been a little different than our usual chats, but when you get really cool people like Sage to come chat with you, you just work around their schedule. So it was a great pleasure to sit down with them to chat about the campaign, the Venture Maidens campaign, Fridays, everybody, Venture Maidens Twitch channel, and make sure to check out their podcast. I am honored to get to say that I have been good friends with the Venture Maidens over the last few years. In fact, Brittany, who is part of the original cast, did this tattoo right here. My D20 on my wrist was done by a Venture Maiden. How about them apples? So go get some love. Go show them some love. Their shows are always fantastic, and the talent is just seeps over the edges. So, yep. So there you go. A little history into Dot's D20 tat. It was done by a Venture Maiden at Gen Con 2017. I think. Yes, Brittany is such a great friend. We had breakfast. She passed through Atlanta, and we had breakfast together the last time she passed through here. So, yep, it is late. It is almost 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. So I'm going to let you all have your days back. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me, with coming to tune in and listen to what Sage had to say about this Venture Maidens campaign that they are running every Friday night now. And you can check out season 1 if you missed it over on the Venture Maidens YouTube. So you got some stuff to binge if you're missing it. And then don't forget, we're back here, same Kobold time next week, and we will be here Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern, for more Southlands. And I'm sure at this point, with the strange collection of creatures that we have, y'all, what do we have? We have a Djinborn, an Arena, a Ravenfolk, a Bassetti, and a Minotaur. Did I forget anyone? That was all 5 of us. And a Noir. Yeah, there are no humans or elves at all in our party. It's going to be shenanigans. Full-on shenanigans. So do not miss it. There's a good probability we're going to have to evacuate the labyrinth that we've been chilling in. And take to the desert. So we'll see how that goes. We shall see how it goes. Until then, I bid you all adieu. Remember, be excellent to one another, and I will see you back here next week. Same Kobold time, same Kobold channel. I'm going to leave you with a little video from our dear Jenny. Bye, everybody.
So today we will see if Aisling is cut out to work for the leader of a major smuggling... Dear God, what is that? Oh, it's a corrupted pixie from Tome of Beasts 2, a book of new monsters compatible with 5th edition D&D from today's sponsor, Kobold Press. What happened to you?
I used to be a fae until a hag captured me and tortured me and taught me about life's true joys. Murder, torture, chaos!
Oh no, that hag must have driven this poor creature mad. This tiny fiend loves making mischief and destroying beautiful things. Ah! It can be restored to its original Fey form when treated with pixie dust, but good luck catching one, they have crazy high dex. It's resistant to magic and can cast vicious mockery at will or even turn invisible. Oh god. You can add the corrupted pixie as well as more than 400 other brand new monsters to your game with Tome of Beasts 2, available in both PDF and print form on the Kobold Press website and on Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds. You might also consider picking up the Tome of Beasts 2 Lairs book, which includes 14 standalone single map adventures featuring these monsters. I will put the link in the description, and by the way, if I am found dead later, look for very tiny fingerprints.